work, and play without delay. Choose the browser engineered for speed.
I forgot to turn my sound off again. I hope that little bit of music doesn't interfere with my monetization today on my live. And it went vertical on me again. Sorry about that. I had to flip it up. We got Gladys and Massimo here. Welcome. How's everybody doing today? Unplug that so it doesn't interfere. I got so much interference on here, it's unreal. I had it all set up to go horizontal, and it flipped over on me, so. Do you remember me yet, Massimo? No, I don't. I mean, I can't recall the name, but I've got so many people that come in off and on for a long time till I can't remember every single name. Well, we got Gladys, we got Massimo, we got Mrs. Meyer too. Yeah, everything's well. We got Shelly Edwards. Hello, Shelly. You've been putting out some cute videos. I watch what I can of them. And we got Susan Smith in the house. Hello, Susan. I got a bunch of canning behind me. I got my cowboy candy and my relish, and I got another counter full of pepper jelly that I made. And I've still got some strawberry jelly to make. I haven't gotten to that yet. How is everybody today? I'm doing great. It's an overcast day. It looks just like it wants to pour down rain. The sun is kind of hidden behind the clouds. You know, we are supposed to get down to about 35 Wednesday night. That'll be the coldest night we've had so far. But it's not going to be freezing, so hopefully most of my garden will survive through Wednesday night. And I think Thursday it's supposed to be down to about 37, which is still not freezing. And then it's going to be back up in the 50s and 60s at night. I don't like it like this so small. I don't know what you're talking about, Gladys. Uncle BB. Whenever I sleep, I never count sheep. I count all the charms about Linda. Thank you so much for that very sweet compliment. Yeah, it's going to get a little chilly, like I said, Wednesday and Thursday night, but it's going to warm back up in the 50s and 60s at night. Still not going to be real cold during the day. It might be a few degrees cooler, but not cold. You can't really see me? Well, I don't know. I don't know what you're watching on, Gladys. Let's see if I move this, if it'll... I don't know. I don't want to have a real close-up because I don't look good enough to have a real close-up. Susan Smith says, I see you. What are you watching on, Gladys? If you're watching on your TV, maybe you're too far away from it. okay now. Okay. She says it's okay now. Susan Smith is in the house. Oh, on TV it looks further away. Okay, yeah, that's what it is. I'm watching on my laptop and then I'm videoing with my camera, so. Uncle BB says, I see you. You know what? I got stung by a bee yesterday. I got a big lump. I know you probably can't see it, but I got a big lump right there. And I got a hole where the stinger went in right there. You can't see it, but the stinger went in, and it didn't hurt real bad. It almost felt kind of like a mosquito. I had my arm down to my side, and evidently the little bitty baby bee was on my shirt. And when I touched my arm to my shirt, he started stinging me. And it wasn't real hard like a bee sting. I thought it was some other kind of bug. And I put my hand over here and was brushing it, and there was something black sticking in my arm, and I pulled it out, and I still didn't see the bee. It was the stinger that was left in my arm. I pulled that out, and a little while later, I felt something crawling up here on my face, and I went like this, and I felt there was a bug or something up there, and I brushed it in the floor. He didn't sting me up there. He didn't have a stinger to sting with. He had left that in my arm. But anyway, I brushed him like this, to get it off my face because I didn't know what it was. And I looked down in the floor, and I could see a little dot down in the floor, and I looked down closer, and I saw it was a little tiny bumblebee. And I said, you little Dickens, and I got him up with a paper towel and squished him and threw him in the garbage. But I said, that's why he didn't sting my face, is because when he stung me, I brushed at him, and it broke his stinger off in my arm. So he couldn't sting anybody anymore. But it didn't hurt real bad, but it is swollen a little bit. And I put some antibiotic on it, but it does itch, and I'm trying real hard not to scratch it. But it does have a little hole right in the center where his stinger went in. And I pulled the stinger out. It was a little black thing. Almost like a little thorn, I pulled it out. And that was his stinger. When I brushed my arm, it broke his stinger off in my arm and threw him on he stayed on my shirt because he climbed up my shirt and got on my face. And that scared me. I said, oh my God, that's a baby bee. Where's the rest of them, He was courting me. Oh, I don't need bees to court me. Suzanne or Susie says, I see more upper window and ceiling on my phone. Do you not see me? Here, let me adjust it a little bit more. Is that any better? A lot of honeybees. Yeah, that might have been what it was. I did have been having a lot of bees in my yard since I do all my gardening. Got Tamara Douglas in the house, Uncle BB, Susan Smith, Shelley Edwards, Susie, Gladys, Tamara, Mrs. Myers too. 32 watching. Everybody might not be in chat, but there's 32 watching right now, so that's good. I wanted to give everybody time to get in before I read the little email that I've got. Yeah, that's the opposite side of my kitchen over here. That's my kitchen window on the opposite side of my stove, where I'm usually over there at the stove doing a video cooking something. I just moved from one side of the table to the other. I don't have any real cabinets over here. I've just got the freezer, the little cabinet that I made that I put canning stuff in. I've got my little portable fireplace over here behind me. And then I've got a cart that has my dehydrator and some other stuff on it. Mostly cooking pans and bowls, stuff like that. I don't know. Dennis might be watching the ball game because I know there's a ball game on this afternoon. Or he's just not here yet. He's probably watching the ball game if it's on. I don't know what time the ball game was supposed to start. Did you get it already, Gladys? I was thinking you probably wouldn't get it till maybe Monday. I know I sent you a message telling you that he said to send it to you. Yeah, you haven't gotten it yet. It'll probably be Monday or Tuesday before you get it. I did get it out in the mail Friday, but it was Friday afternoon. Usually I get there early in the morning, and if I get there early enough, sometimes you get it Saturday or Monday. It was Friday afternoon before I got it in the mail. So it'll be at least Monday or Tuesday before you get it this week, I'm sure. It looks like Betty Crocker's house. I've never seen Betty Crocker's house. But I want to show you something. I should have had it over here, but I didn't. Here is my pepper jelly. I put some of it in small jars and some of it in pint jars. But that's my pepper jelly right there. And this one is a little hot. The first batch that I made is real mild. It's not really hot at all. Because I didn't want it hot for myself. I said, I'll make some of it hot that I'll give other people because they want it to be hot. But I don't like mine real hot. But it tastes real good. It's the first time I ever made pepper jelly. Yeah, you received my message about it. Okay. It is. It's real good. I tasted the first batch that I made. And I said, well, it's not even hot. I mean, there's a very little aftertaste of a little bit of warmth from it, but not much. And I said, well, maybe I didn't put enough peppers in it. But I'm kind of glad it turned out that way because I'm going to keep that first batch for myself. And the next 3 batches that I made, I added a little bit more hot pepper in it. I chopped it up and put it into it to where it will have a little bit of heat, but not much. We'll know when I open one of each and test them and see how they taste. I'll open a small one of the hot and a small one of the not hot one and see how they compare. And then I'll know how to do the next batch that I ever make. I probably may have enough peppers right now to do another batch because it only takes about 10 jalapenos to chop up in it. And my peppers were real little. Even my jalapenos were little ones. So I probably put about half or less of the hot peppers in my recipe than the recipe actually called for. Yeah, see, that's why I made my batch where it was not hot, because I didn't want it hot. My stomach can't handle the hot stuff anymore. Perfect for Christmas. Pour it over a block of cheese with crackers. Yeah, and see, I do mix my cowboy candy relish Or even the cowboy candy, you can chop it up. But this is the cowboy candy relish. You can't really see it, but it's chopped up like a pickle relish. And I put like a little spoonful of it in a block of cream cheese and mix it up. And you can eat it with crackers, or you can stuff peppers with it and then wrap them in bacon, and that's real good. But this is the regular cowboy candy. You can see they're bigger pieces. It's slices of the jalapeno instead of having it ground up. Yeah, I said I like the taste of the jalapeno in the jelly. It's different. And I said I'll be making more of that every year. That's added to my list of to make things for garden season. See, right now it's cooling down, so my pepper plants aren't producing as much. But I went out and picked every one that I could find when I made the last 3 batches. I mean, bell pepper and hot pepper, because you put both in the recipe. And I still got a few green tomatoes out there. I picked a couple of ripe ones, but not anything to brag about. Except for my Ponderosa Pink. Look at that. That was that big Ponderosa Pink tomato. First one I've ever grown. Isn't that pretty? It's a dark pink. And it didn't split open or anything. I got a couple that I picked. Let's see. Like this one that tried to split open, but the tomato is still good. But that's a Ponderosa Pink right there. Yeah, I think I got 3 little Ponderosa Pinks off of that plant. And I've got a couple more green ones on that plant that, I'll get. And I think I brought 1 or 2 in that are still green that just started turning a little pink. But they're not ripe to eat yet. I mean, I could fry it, but I don't know. I may fry some. I don't know. I've just got a little handful of tomatoes that were ripe. Like I said, nothing to brag about. But, this time of year, most people don't even have tomato plants left. Your husband like cowboy relish in the deviled eggs? Yeah, it'd be good in deviled eggs, too. Because I put, a lot of times, pickle relish in mine. And it would be good to put the cowboy candy relish in it. Yeah, I'd never heard of a Ponderosa Pink tomato either, Tamara. My subscriber sent me a package of the Ponderosa Pink seeds. And I planted them, and I had 3 pretty good sized tomato plants out there that are Ponderosa Pink, at the corner of the shed. And that's where I've been getting my Ponderosa Pink tomatoes from. And I only got the one off of the hillbilly tomato plant. One great big one, and that was it, pretty much. I thought that was so odd. It grew just one big tomato, the biggest one I picked off of any of my plants. And it was on the hillbilly tomato plant. But that was the only one, and then I got another small one after that. But it took to the end of the summer to get the other small one. Little bit of pure gold. Hello. I've got some volunteer cherry tomatoes still making inside my chicken run. Yeah, I've got some of the grape tomatoes and the cherry tomatoes that are still, and Roma tomatoes that are still putting out tomatoes. Not many, but I've got a few green ones still out there. And on the grape tomatoes and the little cherry tomatoes, I get 1 or 2 once in a while that are ripe. I don't even get a handful of them. But I love growing them. I love watching them put out little tomatoes. And I love picking them because a lot of times I'll pick them and eat them as I go through the garden. We got Linda Blaylock in the house. Hello. Donna Placetti is in the house. You love the seafood video? I love that seafood. I'm telling you. Give me some fish chowder, fried catfish, fried shrimp, or seafood chowder, and you couldn't suit me any better. I'd rather have that than have a good steak. Yeah, I was late getting... Sorry about that. It needs the rain to settle the dust down so I don't cough so much. But, yeah, I love steak if it's cooked right. Don't get me wrong, but if I had my choice of one or the other, I'm going to pick seafood. Little bit of pure gold. You're right there with me. I never thought about doing that, putting salt and pepper shaker out in my garden, so when I go through, I can salt and pepper my tomatoes and eat them while I walk through. I just eat them by themselves. But that's a good idea. Yeah, and I usually pick the little bitty cucumbers and eat them as I go through the garden. Because since I've been planting, let me put a cough drop in my mouth. I'm not going to get away without not doing it. When I planted in the ground in a few places where I did, I tell you, my squash, my zucchini, my cucumbers just took off and produced like crazy. I mean, I had giant zucchini that long, some of them that big around, and they were just as tender as the little ones. But I'm somehow going to try to put some back in the ground this coming year, this coming spring. Because for some reason, mine have not been doing that well in my totes and buckets and big planters. They did one year. I don't think I may have put enough compost or something to them. But I'm going to try them a little different this year. I will still put some in the pots and the totes. But I'm going to try to find a few spots in the ground that I might be able to plant them and see how they grow. Gladys said she loves fried green tomatoes. I do too. I just haven't fixed any. I've been trying to let my tomatoes ripen so I could eat ripe tomatoes because I've not gotten very many this year. Just one or two here and there, as they ripen. Well, my containers did great for some things. My peppers, and for the most part, they did good for the tomatoes because, this time of year, like I said, most people don't even have tomato plants left. They've done great for my kale and walking stick, my Chinese cabbage, my walking stick kale, my purple kale, all of that. And so far, it's been doing great for the collards that I just planted. I should have put out some cabbage seed and planted some more cabbage this time of year to see how they would do. Because, the bugs don't bother them as bad in the fall as they do in the wintertime. The summertime. They just destroyed my poor cabbage plants in the summer. No matter what I did, I couldn't keep the worms off of them. Yeah, but it only takes one or two really freezing cold nights here, and it wipes my peppers out. And sometimes it'll wipe out my collards and my cabbage, depending on how low the temperature gets and how long it stays that cold. Well, I might have turkey. I've still got turkey in the freezer from last year. And I don't have anywhere to put any more. So I may take out some turkey that I've already got cooked that's in the freezer with the gravy and make stuffing and just fix a smaller Thanksgiving dinner with it for myself. Because I don't know yet if I'm going to go to my son's or not. He hasn't mentioned it, but that doesn't mean anything. Usually he doesn't mention it, and he'll tell me at the last minute, well, come on over to my house and we'll do lunch here or Thanksgiving dinner here. Okay. Yeah, I've got this letter. I printed it off so I could read it. And this is from Patty C. You know, she had some destruction from the hurricane that come through. And she's been sick. And I've gotten several different emails from her. The first one I received back on November 9th. No, wait a minute, November 1st. No, that's the one I sent her. I wrote her a short note because she had let me know that she had damage from the hurricane. They were trying to recover from that. And she was sick at the same time. Really sick. But this last one I got from her, let's see, was October, no, wait a minute, November 1st. I've got several emails printed here from different dates. I'm trying to find the last one. Here it is. From November 9th, and I forgot. I was going to do this Thursday night, and I forgot it. I had it right here under the laptop, and I forgot it, all about it. But it was November 9th. That was on a Saturday at 10:40 a.m. Patty wrote me this email. She says, "Hi, Linda. Thanks so much for the prayers. I really appreciate them from all of you. You're so kind. I've been so sick. It's been a struggle with pain. Been in and out of the hospital and tests. Had kidney infection, sepsis, had stones, kidney stones, I guess. Also had Crohn's flares and complications. My faith is strong and is seeing me through. I hope to be back soon in the lives. Miss you all. Love you all. And I'm praying for all who also need prayers. God bless you." So we need to remember her. She's got a lot of illnesses that she's dealing with. Like she says, she's been in and out of the hospital. They've done numerous tests. And evidently every time they do test on her, they find something wrong. But yeah, we need to keep her in our prayers, right along with a lot of other people that are subscribers and some that are not, that have a lot of health problems and health issues that they're dealing with. But yeah, I wanted to read that because, you know, I feel so for Patty C. I mean, she never went into detail about what the damage from the hurricane was. She just said that they were dealing with a lot of damage from the hurricane, and she'd been sick through all of this. Really sick. And you know she's really sick if she can't be alive. So. And there's Jackie M. She says, "Hello, Linda and chat. I'm late as usual." You're fine, Jackie. Yeah, that's what I say. Lord help this lady. Be there looking over her and her family and everybody else that needs prayer in all of the hurricane damage and flooding. So many people lost everything they have. So many people that were in that hurricane's path, they only came out of it with their lives and the clothes on their back. They have no home to go to. They have nothing. They lost everything. And a lot of people lost loved ones in these hurricanes. So, you know, everybody needs to remember them in prayer. I've been watching so many videos, you know, where so many companies and organizations and help groups have been donating so much stuff to all the hurricane victims. Even camper trailers and different places and different things that they can set up to live in temporarily, to the ones that can rebuild. The hurricane changed the river's pattern, you know, the layout of the river. So a lot of people don't have property to even build back on. Their property now is in the middle of the river, so they have nothing to build on. So, they're in bad shape. I mean, I can't imagine going through all that. To lose everything you own and all you come out with is your life and the clothes on your back. I mean, that's a lot to be alive, and to walk away from that when so many people perished. That's saying a lot, and you got a lot to be grateful for right there, is to be alive through it all. Because so many people did not make it. Well, I'll tell you what, let's take a couple of minutes and just say a prayer for all these people right now. Patty C., everybody that's in chat, everybody that watches my videos that need prayer, this is going to be for you. So let's all take a moment and just go to prayer. Dear Lord, bless Patty C. Look after her. Help her with her illnesses. Help all my subscribers that need prayer. Help them with their health issues, their financial situations, and whatever. Help all these hurricane victims that lost loved ones. They lost their homes. Some of them lost even their property to build on. Some of them are grateful that they walked away with their lives and the clothes on their back. But dear Lord, look after these people. Guide them. Help them to reestablish their homes somewhere. I mean, some can't go back to their home. They can't go back to property that was there because it's not there anymore. Just look after these people, guide them and help them. Bring them through this. And all the people that lost loved ones, let's remember them in prayer. Guide those people, help them with their sorrow, with their loss. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. I just felt the need to do that. I mean, I can't imagine going through all that. I've had knocks and blows and downfalls in my life. I've lost loved ones in my life, but never the way that these people have lost belongings, loved ones, their homes, everything they've got. I mean, it's just so sad. So what's everybody going to be doing today? How many people have been watching the ball game? I don't even remember who plays today, but I know there was a ball game. I heard it announced the other day when I was going through the TV stations and news and different things, and they mentioned the teams that were playing and all that. But I don't even remember the team that's playing today. And I'm not going to mention any names, but I've got more problems with my channel, and I hate to even bring it up. But y'all know that I have an anonymous giver that sends me stuff from time to time. But I've had one of the subscribers to my channel, or I don't know if they're a subscriber, maybe they just watch the chat, my live chats, I don't know. But somehow they found out who that anonymous subscriber was, or giver was. And they contacted them and told them not to help me anymore, not to give me anything anymore, not to send me anything, because I didn't need the help. That I owned all this property, and I owned this, and I owned that, which, some of it was true, some of it's just a downright lie. And then they turn around and tell them who they want them to help. So I know this person is either friends with the person that's been trying to bring my channel down, or they're friends, they're friends with the person that they are telling my anonymous subscriber to go help. They named them by name, y'all. They told them, this is the person you need to go help. So there's a lot of people trying to bring down my channel. They're trying to do everything they can do to shut my channel down. Even to my anonymous subscriber that has been sending me things from time to time. And I think that's awfully sad. To go contact someone that's been sending us, a creator, things from time to time, and to tell them not to help me anymore, that I don't need the help. I don't need the support. But this person over here, and told them their name, needs the help. And these other people over here that have children need the help. You don't need, I don't need the help anymore. And if you're watching this, person that did that, I don't appreciate it. You're a low-life, sorry human being to do that to anybody. Whether it be me or someone else, another creator on YouTube, to contact someone that sends you items and tell them not to send you anything anymore, to send it to this person over here. You're sorry. You're a sorry human being. And that's all I got to say about that. Exactly. If they don't like my channel, they don't like me, they don't have to watch my videos. They don't have to come to my lives. They can go somewhere else. They can go help that other subscriber or that other creator that they want my anonymous giver to give to instead of me. Let them go help them. But don't bring my channel down to do it. And I'm going to be gracious enough not to mention names. I know their name, and I know the name of the person that they wanted to go help, but I'm not going to mention it. But if it keeps on, I will. And the only reason I know about it, my anonymous giver sends me messages periodically, and I just contacted her to see how they were, see how they've been doing, because I hadn't seen them in a while. Even in my lives, they hadn't contacted me in a while. And that's what they told me was going on, that because they were contacted by this person that told them not to help me, that I didn't need help, to go help this other person. And told me all the stuff that they told them. Which I said, a lot of it was lies, some of it was true. I do own other property. I've never kept it a secret. It's not a house. It's not even a shed. It's just property, land, that I can't build on because I don't have the money to do anything with it. And it's in my hometown, or just outside of my hometown, in North Carolina. And I own this property. It's been paid off for many years. I paid off my car before I quit working because I knew I couldn't make payments just on my retirement check. So I worked my tail off to pay for my car before I retired, because I knew there's no way I could pay for it after I retired. And I did mention that in my live chats, and that's how that person knew about it. And they went straight to that anonymous giver and told them all this, that I own all this property. I own multiple properties, and I own my car. Some people don't have cars, and blah, 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 blah. Kept right on going. And I don't appreciate it. If you want to help somebody on YouTube, a creator, or anybody, go help them. But don't cut me down to help someone else. And they're probably watching right now, and they're not going to come in to chat if they think I'm going to know who they are if they do. I mean, I don't know if they've even ever come into my chat. They may have just watched the lives, And even if they came into chat, they may not use their real name. But yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. I said my piece about it. I hope they are watching so they can hear what I said. I'm done with it. I'm going on about my YouTube channel. I take care of myself. I don't bother other people. I don't try to bring other creators down. I don't try to interfere with their channel any way whatsoever. I don't try to hurt anybody. And I don't want them hurting me. They have no reason to bring me down or to do anything like they're doing. Unless it's just downright jealousy. Maybe it is the other person that wants the help, And maybe they just used her name when they told my anonymous giver who it was, you know, and it could be the person that wants them to send them stuff instead of me. I don't know. But I'm done with it. That's all. Yeah, it's pure evil. And I always said I did not want drama on my channel, and I don't. And this is going to be the only time I ever mention it unless something else happens. And then I might. But I'm not mentioning names. I'm going to be courteous enough to not mention names. Linda Blake says, I never want to get on your bad side. I don't know, Uncle BB. Some people are just born evil, I guess. Some people are just born to where they can't stay out of other people's business. Some people are just born to where they want to control people. You missed what I said. Well, you'll have to rewatch the live because I'm not going back over all that. Saying it one time is enough, Uncle BB. I don't want to, because it gets me upset just talking about it. I'm a little irritated right now, and I didn't want to get myself stressed out. So I want to get on another subject, a happier, more uplifting subject, like my pepper jelly or my pepper relish or my tomatoes, my garden. Oh, and I found the last time I went out and videoed my collards that I had planted. I caught Lucky trying to get up in the raised bed. He was going to get up there and lay down. So I've already had to started putting stakes down in the center of it to where he can't lay in it. He hasn't tried to get in the buckets because I guess with the plants in them and the buckets are not that big, he doesn't have room to lay down. So he doesn't bother the buckets. So what I'm going to do is put the top on the raised bed, and I'm going to put tulle around it. That way when it rains, the rain can get in, the sun can get in, but Lucky can't crawl in there. Gladys. Gladys says Linda needs a handsome man dancing in a G-string. Yeah, that might work. Uncle BB may want to do that. You any good at dancing, Uncle BB? I'm sorry, y'all. The last one that I did, Grey's Anatomy, is this one. It's jelly. It's pepper jelly. I worked on a bunch of that yesterday and the day before, and I think I did a video and posted it on it. But this is the first year I've done pepper jelly. But this is real pepper jelly. It's got jalapenos. It's got bell pepper in it. And some of it is mild, but the last batch, 3 batches that I made, has more hot pepper in it. So it should have a little bit of heat to it. But yeah, that's pepper jelly. And then I've got my cowboy candy, which is nothing but pure hot peppers. There's every kind of pepper that I've grown in my garden in that cowboy candy. Every kind of hot pepper that I grow. I mean, there's jalapenos, there's habaneros, there's chili peppers, jalapenos, what was it? Hungarian hot wax peppers in there. There's, I can't even think of all of them. I've got so many hot peppers, different kinds, growing in my garden, but that's a mixture of all of them right there. So that's hot, but it's good. And then I did cowboy candy relish, which is also all the different hot peppers. So it does have some heat to it. I'm trying to get the light to it, but The light is not cooperating with me, but that's my cowboy candy relish. So I've got jars of cowboy candy relish, cowboy candy, and then pepper jelly. Mild and hot. Or it's not even hot. Like I said, the first batch that I made is not even hot. So that's the one I can eat. I mean, I could eat the hot one, but very little of it. Because the minute that hot pepper hits my stomach, I get the hiccups. My stomach protests the heat. Diana Hinkle says, I'm getting hungry for some of that pepper jelly and cream cheese. Yeah, it sounds like it would be good. I made some stuffed sweet peppers. You know, they look like little hot peppers that you buy in a bag at the store in the produce section. They're red, yellow, orange, different colors. But they're sweet peppers, but they're about the size of a jalapeno. I stuffed them with cream cheese and a little bit of my cowboy candy relish to put a little bit of hot heat in it, and wrapped it in bacon. You know, I did a video on that. That way you can control the heat that's in your little pepper when you bake it. So for the people that can't eat the hot peppers or don't like real hot peppers, they can control the heat with how much of the cowboy candy or the hot pepper that you put in your cream cheese. Because your little pepper is sweet. And they were real good. I ate every one of them. It took me several days, but I did eat them. Yeah, I'll have to do some videos making different things with the cowboy candy and the relish and pepper jelly. Maybe some of the hot peppers will help with my dry eye. Well, my allergies, keep my eyes from drying out because I'm always tearing up. You'll always see me wiping my eyes, and it's just from allergies. Well, thank you, Emily, and welcome to our chat. And I welcome Massimo, I'm not sure I pronounced that correctly, who came in early and wanted to know if I remembered him. I think it was a him. He hasn't been back. Well, they haven't been back in chat in the last few minutes, so I don't know if they're still here. But I definitely welcome. I mean, like I said, I can't remember every single name that comes in unless you come into every live and I recognize your name right away because I'm used to seeing it. And evidently Massimo only comes in once in a while, so I really didn't remember his name. Yeah, I know, Gladys. Yeah, I love the heat. But yeah, my stomach did. I mean, my son made some stuffed jalapenos one day when I was at his place, and he offered me one, and I refused it because I told him, I said, my stomach can't handle those peppers. They're too hot. I used to could eat them. I can't now. And he said, go ahead, Mom. I took all the seeds out so they're not quite as hot. I said, it don't matter if you take the seeds out of a hot pepper or not. That pepper is still hot. It don't matter. You can leave them in or take them out. It's still going to be hot. No, Mom, it's cooled down quite a bit. Well, he taught me into it. I took one of the little ones and I bit into it. The minute I swallowed, my stomach did a hiccup, like it was trying to get rid of that hot. And my son saw it. I hiccuped right away. My stomach was protesting. It was going into spasms because of that hot pepper. And I said, I can't eat something that hot anymore. I can eat my relish, where I mix it in something and tone down the heat a little bit. I can eat it that way. Or I can put a little bit of my cowboy candy in my chili beans and different things like that just for seasoning. But I put a little bit, I don't put full strength hot pepper in my mouth. And I can eat it that way. I don't feel pretty at all. My eyes are swollen and I've gained so much weight that I think I look awful. I don't really do a lot to get ready because I don't look no better when I do anything to look better than I do before. So, I mean, I am what I am, y'all. My hair was wound up on top of my head until I went live. I pulled it down just before I went live and pulled it to the side because I said I didn't want it up on my head when I went live. Uncle BB says, you'd better stick to Anita Biscuit. My computer just flashed up where the it has the temperature usually, and it said it put a little umbrella with rain coming down, and it says rain tomorrow. So we're going to get rain tomorrow. My garden's going to love it because tomorrow's my watering day, really. Well, it's not really that curly anymore, but my hair is naturally curly. And the longer it is, the more it straightens out because the weight of the hair pulls it straight. If I cut it real short, it would curl up more. Thank you, Jackie M. Thank you so much for that compliment. Now, when my hair was shorter in layers, I did set it sometimes, to get it to do what I wanted it to do. But the minute I started sweating or got hot, it would just flop and curl up. So I said, the heck with this. I'm just going to let it go natural. I think natural is always the best anyway. Because I can't use the hairsprays and all this other stuff on my hair because I'm allergic to all of it. Thank you, Gladys. Thank you, Mrs. Meyer. Y'all are sending me such nice compliments already here. Well, I looked a lot better when I was younger, before I gained weight about 12, 15 years ago. That cancer scare and what they put me through was devastating to me. The way I look, the weight I gained, everything. I've never looked the same since because I can't lose the weight. My hair, I lost about half the hair that was growing out of my head because it never came back the way it was. Things will just never be like they were 15 years ago before I went through that cancer deal. Yeah, and we do all get older. We can't stay 25 or 30 years old forever, so. You're almost 50 and don't have a gray hair. Well, you're doing real good, Laura. Because probably if I let mine grow naturally, I didn't dye it, mine would probably be maybe 80% gray. It'd be salt and peppered, but most of it would be gray. And it did look good that way at one time, right after my hair was growing back from that cancer deal. When all the fuzz grew out of it and the kinky curly look grew out, it looked pretty good. I let it go the natural color, and some of the dark had come back in, and it was gray all up here. And it looked really good, but it looked like I had bleached it that way. Because so many people told me, you need to stop bleaching your hair, let it go natural. Well, it wasn't bleached, it was natural. And I probably should have left it that way. Diana says, I'm a natural brunette and I need a haircut this week. I hope I can get my layered cut. See, that's the way mine is. To lighten it, to lift it a little bit so it's not so heavy. I did cut it in layers, but it's in long layers. I mean, this up here stops right there. It doesn't go all the way down. So it is in long layers, and I may end up trimming it up a little shorter. I don't know. But I've gotten spoiled with it being able to pull it up on top of my head or pull it back in a ponytail or pull it back in a hat. And if I had it in short layers, I couldn't do that. I'm a natural brunette too, Diana. That is before all the gray started coming in. Yeah, mine is more manageable when I have it cut in layers. And it had finally all grown out to one length because I kept trimming up the ends of it. I didn't trim up the rest. I just trimmed up the ends and it was all one length. And it was getting so I couldn't brush it without combing or brushing half my hair out. So I said, I need to do something. So I trimmed it up. I cut maybe a couple of inches off of it, but I did cut it up in layers. So now it's easier to brush. Well, I don't know what happened here. There it goes. My chat went away. Claire said she's 76 and her hair is silver white. That's the way most of mine is. It's pure silver. It looks like a fluorescent white. Yes, sir, Uncle BB. They diagnosed me with invasive ductal carcinoma. They gave me 3 years to live. They put me through aggressive chemo. I lost all my hair. It wiped out my immune system. Gained a lot of weight because my doctor told the tech to give me something with the chemo. And Benadryl too, because I was allergic to the chemo and stuff. They put just as much Benadryl as they did chemo in me. And she said, she told them to put something in it too because she wanted me to gain weight, not lose weight. And I put on a lot of weight going through that. But yeah, it knocked out my immune system. It took me years to build up my immune system so I could go out in public and not get sick. It took me years to get my hair back to this normal. And it's still not the way it was because, like I said, only about half my hair came back in. My hair was extremely thick. I mean, real thick. Oh, I bet your hair is beautiful, Donna. You put curls in your hair? Or Diana? Oh, is it Diane's birthday? And we got Claire Quinn in the house. Welcome, Claire. Well, you know, there's different types of chemo. There's some chemo that they give people that you don't lose your hair. But the kind of chemo they gave me, I lost every bit of my hair on my whole body. I didn't even have one little faux hair on my arm. My eyebrows, I didn't have eyebrows. I didn't have eyelashes. I drew on my eyebrows. I drew on a liner around my lid here, or my underlid, to make it look like I had eyelashes. And that's why I use a pencil now for my eyeliner, for my eyebrows, because most of my eyebrow hairs didn't come back in. And if I take the pencil off, you know, I don't have eyebrows at all. No, they told me what they did, and I was like in a state of shock. My son went into a state of shock. My daughter did, because they thought they were losing their mom. And then they put me through chemo, knocked out my immune system, lost my hair, went through surgery later. And after surgery, I went in for my checkup, and my surgeon told me, "We got to talk." She told me, "You don't have you don't have cancer. All it was fibrocystic cysts," and that's what I told him in the beginning that I had. Because I did have a lump, but it was fibrocystic cyst. It was not cancer. Yes, chemo is awful. I don't wish that on anybody. When I was going through chemo, I couldn't even go to Walmart to pick up a loaf of bread. I could walk in the store, come out, and by the time I was home, I was sick. Because I picked up some kind of germ while I was in the store that made me sick that easy. I quit going to church. I didn't go out anywhere. I waited till nighttime, like 10, 11 o'clock at night, to even go pick up groceries in hopes that no one was in the store sick. Or, that's when least of all people are in the store. And that hopefully I could go buy my groceries and not get sick. Linda, let your hair go white. I've been thinking about doing that, but y'all probably won't recognize me if I do. And if I let it go all white, all of a sudden, I'd have to let it grow out a couple of inches and then cut it off real short, and I don't want to do that. And if I let it grow out gradually and don't color it, then it's going to be white up here, dark down here. But then I'd be starting a new hairstyle, wouldn't I? I'd be right in style with all these other crazy hairstyles that are out there in the world. We got Handsome Truth in the house. Hello. Hold on a second. I hear somebody. It's all right. It's not here. It's across the street. The young couple that bought that house across the street, I think I told y'all already that they moved out into a mobile home, a little camper type trailer. And they put the house up for rent because they said it was too expensive. They said it wasn't worth what they paid for it. But they put it up for rent, hoping to get some of their money back that they put into it. So they're going to rent it for more than the payment. So, and everybody does that. So they must be showing it to some people. Maybe some renter prospects came by to look at the house. And there's Catherine Bellarose. Hello. Claire said, grow your hair out naturally. I've been wanting to because I hate having to color it all the time. But I'm afraid of what I'm going to look like if I do. I had years and years ago, I bleached my hair out almost a platinum blonde. And cut it in shorter layers. And I looked good. But I was 40 pounds lighter too. And my son says, Mom, I think you look better right now than you ever have in your life. But then I got tired of bleaching it because it's a lot of work trying to keep it a platinum blonde when you're a brunette. So I just let it go. Trim your hair to your shoulder length. But then the top would be up this long. And I couldn't pull it back in a ponytail or anything when I work in the garden. Oh no, Linda Blaylock said a child is missing on Ormond Beach, Florida. Yeah, if you just let it go gray, just let it grow out naturally. Don't color it. Don't do anything to it. Just shampoo it and dry it and let it grow. I tried to do it one time and it got a couple of inches and it was real gray looking up there. I looked almost like a skunk because I had the white streak down the part. And I wore a hat for a long time every time I went out. But then it got so you could see the gray up under the hat. And then you saw this dark ponytail hanging out the back. And people thought I had a hairpiece on. The ponytail was a hairpiece coming out of my hat. And my hair was gray. Because one guy was in the cashier line at Walmart one time when my hair was like that. And I had a hat cap on with my ponytail coming out. My ponytail's dark, and I got gray showing out from under the cap. This gentleman that was behind me looked at me. He said, "I know that hair's not real." And I didn't say or do anything. But what I should have done was pull my cap off and let him see that, yeah, it's real. Well, it takes a little bit of getting used to, Claire. When you've been, say, like me, a brunette all your life, and all of a sudden your hair is silver, white, it takes a lot to get used to. It's like looking at a different person in the mirror. Now, if you're a platinum blonde all your life and you get gray in your hair and it turns completely gray, you don't even notice it. It still looks blonde. Because I grew up with a girl in my hometown. She had naturally blonde hair, and she always let it grow long because her hair was straight. And it always looked good. She never had to do anything but shampoo it and let it dry. Of course, she's gray now. But she came to my mom and dad's funeral. And she looks the same. Even though she's gray, she's got a lot of the blonde still in it. You know, kind of like me. Maybe 80% gray and the rest, the 20% natural dark color. Salt and pepper. But when you're blonde and it does that, it still looks blonde. It looks a lighter blonde, but it still looks blonde, and you don't notice it as much. But when you have black hair or brunette, and all of a sudden you're snow white gray, you do a double take in the mirror like, who is that? Catherine Bellarose said, I have no intentions of getting used to gray hair. Well, so far, I can't get used to having it. I mean, it looked good when I did have it all natural, and a lot of it was gray, but still, I missed my dark hair, and I guess that's why I started dyeing it back. But I'm sure one of these days, you know, I'll just say the heck with it, and I'll let it go natural, and it'll be gray. And then I run into these people, you know, they don't mean to be mean or anything. And it's different in the different areas where you live or where you come from. Now, where I'm from in North Carolina, it was nothing for older women to have long hair and put it up in a bun like I do on top of my head all the time. In fact, probably 95% of the older women had long hair. And it was a lot longer than mine. And that was just the norm, you know. But out here, they look at you like, well, you need a haircut. Older women look like you know, an older woman needs shorter hair. You don't need to grow long hair like you're a young teenager. Well, I'm not trying to be a young teenager. My hair is easier for me to manage like it is. Because now if I got ready to go out in the garden after I ended this live and do some stuff in the garden, I just pull my hair back in a ponytail or put it up on a bun, and I'm good to go. If I want to come in the house and put it down, you know, I don't do anything to it except let it come down and pull it in the front and it's down. That's basically what I did today. And pulling it up in a bun helps straighten it out a little bit. Because it curls up even more after I shampoo it if I don't pull it back. Yeah, Catherine, I've realized it's just the different areas that you were born and raised in. You know, some people think that the long hair on an older woman is appropriate because that's the way life is in the area you were from. Other areas, like some out here, think if you got long hair, you're trying to be a teenager. Well, I know I'm not a teenager. I'm not trying to be one. My body tells me every day I'm not one. But where I'm from, it was nothing for women to have long hair and do it up in a bun. That's the way all of the older women did it. And then when I hit my teenage years, all the younger women, when they started getting older, they all went to short hairstyles, almost like a man hairstyle. And I've worn my hair short like that for a time, off and on throughout my life, but I prefer the long hair. Brenda says, I reverted frosted my hair to let it grow out. Yeah, you can frost it all and let it grow out that way. And I've thought about doing that, streaking it with the light color streaks. You know, that way you got light color from the roots all the way down. But I never went into the beauty shop to get it done, so mine didn't look that good when I got done with it, I guess, or I didn't think it did. Yeah, it just depends on the individual. And like I said, it has a lot to do with the area you're from, the way the women wore their hair when you were growing up. And like I said, where I'm from, it was readily acceptable because that's the way all the older women were. Women in their 80s had long hair like this, even longer, and they tied up on top of their head like I wear mine. Yeah, everybody, you know, they're entitled to their own opinion. They're entitled to wear their hair the way they want to wear it. I have no problem with it. And I just like to do the same. I'm not trying to be anybody but myself. I'm not trying to be any age but the age I am. I'm just trying to look the best I can for as long as I can. Would you wear a wig? Well, I did wear wigs during the time I went through chemo. Part of the time when I was home, mostly, I wore a bandana on my head because I didn't like my bald head showing. And other times when I went out to the store, I pulled a wig on. But I never really felt comfortable wearing the wig. I felt like everybody could look at me and tell I had a wig on. Some people thought my wig looked really good. They said, "Oh my God, look what you did to your hair. It looks, terrific." And it wasn't my hair, it was a wig. It was a short wig, but it was almost a red brown, like an auburn, and I didn't really like red. But that was the wig that they gave me at the cancer center. You know, they give you a free wig if you want it, and this was a real human hair wig, and it was styled beautifully. It was short, and I did wear it. And then later I bought one of my own, but it didn't fit as good. Catherine says, my mom used to say I would eat bread and salt to pay to get my hair done. Well, usually when I went and got my hair done, I come home and I redid it all myself because I didn't like it. I didn't like the way they cut it, or I didn't like the way they styled it, or something I didn't like. And I'd redo it all over again. So I just quit going to the beauty shop. I started continuing on doing it myself. I started cutting my hair myself when I was 13 years old. My mom always cut it for me till then. And then I started cutting my own hair. And my cancer doctor told me when I was going through chemo, she said, do not go into a beauty salon. Do not go into a nail shop. Do not try to get your nails done. I guess because there's so much of that stuff in the air and you breathe it. And with my immune system down, I couldn't handle it. And it would give me probably lung infections and everything else. So I didn't go to a beauty shop or nail salon. I haven't been to one since, really. It's probably been a good 20 years since I've been to a beauty shop or a nail salon. Mom had a bouffant. Well, I went to the beauty shop when I was still married to my first husband when we lived at the beach before we moved to Texas. And I had a short hairstyle, but it was a like teased up, poofed up hairstyle, like they were wearing back in the 60s and 70s. So I'd go to the beauty shop on Friday, get my hair done. And then we'd go out on the beach strand on Saturday, and there went my hairdo. I mean, even if I didn't get it wet, the salt air got into it and just ruined it. So I told him when we moved to Texas, I said, well, if we go to Texas, I'm not going to a beauty shop no more. I'm done with beauty shops. And I went to a beauty shop one time after I moved out here to get my hair trimmed. And that was it. I said no more. I'm not even going back to get it trimmed. I'll do it myself. You know what gets on my nerves, Miss Linda, when I see old men grown out with a ponytail in back of their heads. It looks awful. I just want to get a... Yeah, I understand that. I don't mind hair a little bit long, but what really irritates me, and I just have to shrug at it, is where these men are all bald on top, and they let their hair grow out, and they put it in a ponytail, and the top is bald. I mean, to me, that looks comical. I mean, like I said, everybody is entitled to do what they want to with their hair. They're entitled to wear it where they want. I should not even say anything about it. But, it's just, if you're bald, you're bald. And if you don't have much hair, you don't have much hair. I think I'd just shave it all off and be done with it. Yeah, I used real big curlers on mine when I was a teenager because I wanted straighter hair. I wanted it to fix my hair in the style where it wasn't so curly. And I'd use these great big rollers about that big around in my hair. I looked like some alien when I had rollers in my hair. I looked like I was ready to go in a spaceship somewhere. Yeah, everybody's entitled to dress the way they want, wear their hair the way they want. I'm not trying to put anybody down, but I haven't put rollers in my hair in so many years. I've still got them in case I want to use them. I've still got my hot rollers, which I used all the time, but I haven't even used those in a long, long time. Really. I think they'd look better without it. Just shave their head. Because, that's the style nowadays is no hair. I mean, and there's a lot of men out there that look really good with no hair. And it seems like so many men went to doing that it's the style. They made a style out of it. I'll tell you what, when I didn't have hair, or when it first started growing back and it was really, really short, I told my son, I said, well, I'm like you, Chad, because I can go and take a shower, shampoo my little bit of hair, come out, towel dry, and I'm done. I don't have hair to do. I don't have to set my hair. I don't have to fuss with my hair. He just laughed at me because he wears his in a burr. He's wore it in a burr for many, many years now because it was so hot in the warehouse where he worked, and welding and stuff like that. And even though he's one of the big boss men, he still has his hair cut in a burr. He didn't let it grow back out because it's just too hot walking through that warehouse or that whole building, where they're welding and doing all that stuff to have real long hair. And he trained people for a long time, trained them in welding. My grandma was getting a bleach job. They burned her scalp. She lost her hair and got $500. Well, I don't think the cancer center was going to pay me for losing my hair. It'd be nice if they had. But they did give me a wig, even if it was not the color that I wanted. Everybody said it looked good on me. It looked great, in fact. And I have got a wig. It's a longer wig, but I've never really worn it. I've tried it on a couple of times. I can't get used to it. So I just put it back in the box and put it on the shelf. I don't wear it. I never have. I said, well, that was a waste of money. And my hair is too long now to wear one of those real short wigs. Can't get all my hair up in it. Oh no! Oh my goodness, how embarrassing, Catherine. She said her husband and her went out to lunch, and the man at the next table stumbled as he got up and his toupee fell on his plate. Don't you know that poor man was embarrassed out of his mind? Uncle BB said his mom wore wigs. Dad didn't like it. But yeah, that's funny, Catherine. That poor man. I mean, it was funny, but you know, to him it was very embarrassing. And there's so many women that wear wigs nowadays, and some of them, you cannot really tell they've got a wig on. They look so real. And the toupees are the same way. The really good toupees that some men wear, you cannot tell they've got on a toupee because it looks real. It looks like real hair. But you know they spend a lot of money for it. There was something called a wiglet. Well, you know, some of the women wear the ponytails. You know, they come, I think, with a clip, and you put your hair back, and you clip it with that clip that's on the false hair ponytail, and you clip it like your hair is pulled back in the ponytail, and it looks real if you can get the colors to match. It looks real, but it's not a real ponytail. It's a wig or wiglet or whatever they call those things. Yeah, I could not imagine being in a restaurant and getting up and end up with my toupee falling in my plate or my hairpiece falling in my plate. Oh my goodness. And probably not that many people in the restaurant even noticed, except somebody was right there at you that couldn't help but see. But you felt like all eyes were on you when something like that happens. She had the braid that you wrap around your bun. Yeah, I've seen people that have those. I've never had one. Hair falls in the 60s. Yeah, I remember that. I never owned one, though. Yeah, I think I'll stick with my own hair. I've got enough hair that I can use my own hair, I think. And when my hair was a little shorter, I would pin curl it and let it set all night. Take it down, brush it out, and put it up in a ponytail right on top of my head. And it would be so kinky curly, I'd fluff it out, and it looked like a hairpiece sitting on top of my head. And everybody said, oh my God, that looks so good when you do your hair that way. And I had one gentleman, one of the teachers at the school where I was working at that time, because I was a substitute teacher. I went to work with my hair that way one day. He said, oh my goodness, your hair looks so good like that. You look so good today. And he says, I know that's real. But he said, it looks really good. He said, you should wear your hair like that more often. But you know, when you look that good, most of the time, there's a lot that goes into looking that good. Like I'd have to pin curl my hair up, sleep in it all night, then brush it out the next day and put it up. And it didn't stay like that forever either. It was a big help when you had one when you were growing up. Well, so many people in this town that knew I went through chemo and lost my hair, when they saw me walking around with this long ponytail coming out of my cap, everybody thought it was just like a hair piece, that it wasn't real, but it was real. It was my hair. But thinking back on it, when that gentleman said that when I was standing in line at the cashier, at the register, I just should have like pulled my cap off and I said, "It's real," and got his reaction to it, because he thought it was one of those hair pieces that hooked into the cap that you wear. Yeah, I could kick myself 10 times over for not thinking fast enough just to whip my cap off and let him see that, yeah, my ponytail is real. It's attached to my head. There's Wilson in the house. How you doing, Wilson? I know you were watching the ball game. How was the ball game? And who was it that played? I forgot who was even playing today. Sounded like a charmer. Yeah. But I could imagine that guy's reaction if I'd have thought fast enough that I'd have just pulled my cap off and showed him it's real. I would have loved to have gotten his reaction. But I didn't think fast enough. I thought about it later when I was out of the store, and I said, darn, I should have whipped my cap off and let him see it's real. You and handsome Bruce should take a date. Bruce who? I don't know who Bruce is, Laura. Oh, you were out with your girlfriend. Did you give your girlfriend the keychain? Or the bracelet, keychain, whatever you call them. And Shelly's back. Maybe she got the name wrong. Just one second. Yeah, I don't know who Bruce is. Well, I know she liked both of them. She's getting Christmas early, Wilson. Just say my fingernails are kind of black now. You been digging in the dirt, Shelly? Bruce Yams. I don't know who that is. I don't know who Bruce Yams is. Y'all are talking about somebody I've never heard of or don't know who it is. Been digging in the dirt. Yeah, I've been digging in the dirt, canning so much. Look at my fingernails. I don't have any. I've kept my hands in water so much making cowboy candy relish, cowboy candy, pepper jelly, and everything else that all my fingernails broke off. Bruce yams, they come in a can. Oh, that kind of yam. I wear gloves, and my fingernails stayed looking pretty good. But then when I started all the canning, and I had to wash so many peppers and chop peppers and wash my hands and do all the canning, all the stuff that goes into canning and sterilizing jars and all that, I have no fingernails left. They just broke off because all that water just made my fingernails soft. Well, how am I going to date something that comes in a can, Uncle BB? I mean, I love sweet potatoes. I love yams. In fact, I bought 2 sweet potatoes, fresh sweet potatoes, the last time I went to the store because I just wanted a baked sweet potato, but I haven't baked it yet. And I've got a sweet potato casserole in the freezer that I need to take out and cook that I haven't cooked yet. And that's something that the anonymous, giver sent me several months ago. Use an opener. Was hugging and kissing my girlfriend. Well, with all the stuff you've been giving her lately, you're getting on the good side of your girlfriend, that's for sure, Wilson. Have to give whoop, whoop, whoop to Wilson. Gotta keep cough drops out if I do much talking. Yeah, we all want invitations to the wedding. Yeah, does your girlfriend like all the food that you like, Wilson? Like your neck bones and your hog jowls and your chicken feet, pig's feet, and all that stuff? A pig tootsie. Raccoon on rice. Or fix her some possum hash. It's so funny because they used to have a restaurant, a real country fried restaurant up on 377, like you go into Fort Worth. And it was called Roadkill Restaurant. And their menu had all kind of roadkill items on it. Like coon hash, possum burgers, different things like that, but it made it sound like it was all wild animals the meat was used from that was on the menu. But of course, possum burgers were hamburgers, beef burgers, not possum. But that's the way the menu read. Yes, she's from Alabama. Okay. Well, sounds like you're a match made in heaven, Wilson. Gladys said she's still looking for Dennis. Yeah, Dennis hasn't been in. I don't know why. Maybe he's watching the ball game. He was real late coming in the last live we had. But he said he was out doing something with his grandkids, so he may have his grandkids. I don't know. There's no telling. Yeah, he may be watching part of the time. He may just not have time to get into chat. Who knows? Shelly ate some roasted ear chicken. Well, I ate the last bowl of my seafood chowder that I made in my video. That was my lunch, or my breakfast and lunch today. Because I ate it about 12:30 or so, maybe 1 o'clock. Ate that last bowl of seafood chowder and drank a cup of coffee. Massimo said, "Pray for me. I'm buying an iPhone 14 Pro Max today without my hard-earned money at 19." Wow, those iPhones are pretty expensive. I couldn't afford one. I'm still using my A53 Android phone. And there's so many more I could upgrade to from that, but they're so costly. Coleslaw and Amish potato salad. That sounds good. I like both. Well, good for you, Massimo. At least you're buying and paying for your own phone. So many kids today get spoiled and get their phones bought and given to them. And they don't know what it's like to work and have to earn it and pay for it yourself. So we congratulate you on that. Wilson said, "My girlfriend wants to have kids. I told her like you'd like to have a boy." Well, do like I did, Wilson. Have one of each. I had a boy and a girl, and I stopped with that. I said, two's plenty. I got one of each, boy and a girl. That's it. I'm done. Oh, that would be nice to have, Shelley. The i14, the iPhone 14 Pro. Because that's what I need. You know, I do so many videos that I have to stop and then start. And then I have to upload the different sections to a program and then put it all together. And then upload it to YouTube. And it takes a lot of time to do that. I said it would be so nice to have a phone that you could pause the camera. And then when you wanted to start up again, you could just hit play again and it would continue on without cutting it into two different videos. Oh, I see, Massimo. Well, I'll gradually, I guess, work my way up to a phone that I can video with that has a pause button. I can't afford the iPhones, though. I really can't. I've got too many other bills on me to afford an iPhone. I checked one that goes through Smart Talk the way I do, you know, with the phone plan that I have. They have an iPhone, but it's like $1,200-$1,400. I don't have that much to put in a phone. I mean, some of them are up in 2,000 and more, and I can't afford that. Now, Wilson said I got my phone for $20. Massimo, 5,000 US. Yeah, see, that's costly. Oh my God, that's like buying a car. I can't put $5,000 in a phone. I mean, I do need the camera, but okay, Gladys. Well, you get some rest and hope you feel better. I know that medicine can make you sleepy. You have a good rest of the day. Yeah, and with Smart Talk, you know, I get points for every monthly payment that I make on my phone bill. And I had like 6,000 points, and I said, surely that would pay for a new phone to upgrade. And I went on the website and looked, and there was an iPhone through Smart Talk. But even with my points, my 6,000 points, that phone was still going to cost an outrageous amount that I couldn't afford. So it's still there. I haven't gotten one. They're doing great. They were in my video yesterday. The workers next door on that new house woke me up about daylight this morning. I could hear their machines running. I don't know what they were doing in the hammering. and it woke me up. And they must have calmed down an hour or so later because I fell back asleep. And it was real late when I got up. And I tell you what, the fur babies were ready for their breakfast when I fed them. They were really appreciative of the food I gave them this morning. But Lucky and Little Buddy both are in that short update video that I just posted yesterday. If you want to see them, just look at that little, I think it's like a 12-minute video. Lucky and Little Buddy both are in that. Because they walked out to the collards with me. And that reminds me, when I get off my live, I'm probably going to go out there and put that frame over the raised bed and try to wrap it with tulle to keep Lucky from going up in my collards laying on them. Because if he lays on them overnight, it'll kill him. It's like he suffocates them. And you know, I can't be mad at him because he's just being a cat. He's just being a fur baby. Well, when I fed them late, they cleaned out their bowls and then they went and lay down somewhere and went to sleep. Oh no, Molly's using your flower bed as a litter box. Well, there is a powder you can get to maybe put out in just the flower bed that it keeps the cats from going in it. They don't like it, so they stay out. Because I bought some of it. I was going to put it around my plants, but then I got to thinking, I said, well, if I put it around my plants, I'm going to have it around my whole yard. And I said, that might keep the cats completely out of my yard, and I didn't want that. So I sent it back. But there is a powder you can get that you can sprinkle around a pot or a flower bed that you don't want them in. I ordered it on Amazon, Shelley, so you might check it out. It's not harmful for them, but they don't like it. They don't like the smell or something. And I was going to get it just to put it in the spots where I caught Lucky laying. But then, like I said, I probably end up having to put it in my whole yard, and I didn't want it everywhere. Your iris bed. And if they lay down on the iris, it's going to lay them flat on the ground. Metal fencing. Well, if you put a fence around your flower bed to keep the cat out, you'd have to put not only around it, but across the top. Because the cat can climb the fence and get in the top. So that's the reason I said I'm going to put the frame up on that raised bed, and I'm going to wrap it with tulle that I bought. I've got some in the shed, because it come in like a 40-yard roll that you buy, because you buy the whole bolt at one time. And I said that way the rain goes through the tulle, the sunlight goes through the tulle, but it'll keep the cat from going in. And that's how I guess I can keep him out of my collard bed. Because like I said, the rest of them are in buckets or in cinder blocks or smaller pots. And he don't get in a small pot or a bucket. It's got to be like a pot that's on my porch that's big enough for him to get in and curl around and have room to lie down. Well, that's true, Shelley. You can have a litter box to where you don't let them go outside, but it's so hard on a cat to keep them pinned up in the house all the time because they don't get exercise like they do if they're outside. Like the cats will run around, they walk around, they get a little bit exercise when they're outside. They don't do that when you have them cooped up in the house. They usually sleep all the time. Well, I can't have Lucky in the house, though. That's one thing. I can't have both cats in the house because I'm allergic to them. They'd have to stay in the yard. I know Lucky uses my whole yard as a bathroom. I see him out there digging and covering stuff up all the time. I never see little Buddy doing that. I don't know where he goes. Your Shih Tzu curls up like a cat to sleep. That's funny, Ann. How are you doing, Ann? Y'all, we got Ann Watson in the house. Yeah, that's the thing about cats. Fences don't keep them out unless you got a top covering the whole area that's fenced in. Because they climb the fence. They'll climb a wooden fence. They'll climb a chain link fence. They climb just about any kind of fence you got out there and go over it. It don't stop them. It'll stop a dog, but it's not going to stop a cat. I haven't seen April in the house today. And I got on her a Maui shirt that she sent me. The shirt she sent me from Hawaii, I got it on today. I love it. Karen, when were you rude? Didn't know that you were ever rude. She says, I apologize for being rude. It was uncalled for. I'm sorry. I don't know when you were rude. You had a rabbit that got in through the fence. They probably went under it. Because rabbits are notorious for digging holes. You're okay, and going to CT scan on Tuesday for my neck. Doctor afraid screws. Oh no. Oh my goodness, Anne. Well, if your bones break that easy, it's not going to hold screws. Good gracious. No, not under. I don't know how they could have. I don't know that a rabbit would climb a fence, but who knows? They might. I don't know a whole lot about rabbits, but I do know they dig under stuff. They can dig a den through the ground, and that's usually where they have babies at. Squeeze through next to the house. Yeah, they can do that. I wonder sometimes how animals can get through these little bitty small places that they can squeeze through. Like that raccoon one time, he was so determined to get under my house. the end of the underpinning, which is metal, cut his forehead up here, and it just skinned his head from the forehead here all the way back, the whole top of his head. When he came out and I caught him in the live trap, the whole top of his head was skin off, and it was where he went under the house. I don't know what happened to the part that came off. I never saw that. It may have ended up under the house. But talk about a skint head, he had one. I looked at him and I said, oh my God, I know that hurt. But he wasn't bleeding. He didn't seem like he was in pain or anything by the time I caught him in the live trap. So I just took him down the road and put him out and watched him run across the field. Yeah, I know they do use their fur to insulate their babies. I've owned one rabbit in my lifetime, but I only had that rabbit for about a year, and my ex-husband got rid of it, and it never did have babies because I only had one rabbit. Or didn't keep it long enough for it to have babies, but it was a beautiful white rabbit. I sometimes thought about getting rabbits, a couple of rabbits, but I said the way they breed and multiply, oh my God, I'd probably end up with so many rabbits, I'd be giving rabbits away. And I've never eaten rabbit. I don't know if I could eat rabbit or not, especially if I grow them. Because, you know, if I raised them in my yard, I'd have them as pets. I wouldn't want to butcher them and eat them. I mean, it's whatever you get used to, I guess. Oh, they do. They scratch and remove the fur from their bodies for their babies. Oh, goodness. That sounds kind of intense right there, Anne. May want to attach the back of my skull to down my back. Ooh, I can't imagine. But you know, your other bones are going to be the same way that he would attach to. I'd be afraid you'd go through all that and it would just come loose again, but just in a different spot. Uncle BB said that's what Mom did. My neck's getting hot. Yeah, I'm liable to go live one of these days and I'll look like a skint head. I'll have all my hair chopped off. Y'all would be shocked, wouldn't you? Let it grow out about a half an inch and basically almost shave my head off until it's all gray and let it grow out. I can't see myself doing that. I really can't. She was a good mom. I missed something in the messages, Uncle BB. Because Steve posted the message, they scratch and remove the fur from their bodies. And then the next thing I saw or glanced at was Uncle BB says, that's what Mom did. And then his next message says, she was a good mom. And I know you don't mean your mom did what the rabbits did, but I don't know what else. I missed something in some of these messages. I don't know where. I can't wear bangs, Uncle BB. My hair curls up. If I have cut it for short bangs, it would flip up and curl up. I never have been able to have bangs. Because I begged my mom to cut my hair one time. My Aunt Jean, she had real short hair and she had bangs down to here. Her hair was sut black, straight, and her bangs was here. Her hair was straight to her ears, and it looked so cute on her. And I begged my mom to cut my hair like Aunt Jean's hair. And she kept telling me, I can't cut your hair like that. Your hair won't do that way. Your hair will curl up. And she did cut my bangs one time to show me what they do. She cut me bangs, and they were wet, so they'd stick to my head and stay flat. As soon as they started drying, they curled up, rolled up. I can't wear bangs. Steve Sutton said Mamie Eisenhower, and I thought I was old. I don't even know who Mamie Eisenhower is. Was that President Eisenhower's wife or daughter or something? I don't know. I thought Eisenhower's wife's name was Eleanor or something like that. I may be even wrong on that. I don't know. Mamie Eisenhower was the wife of the president. I can't remember how she looked. But yeah, I can't wear my hair in bangs. It won't go in bangs. My hair curls up, and I'm not going to pay to straighten my hair. Oh, me. It's getting to be that time of afternoon when I get sleepy. Sometimes I think to take a mid-afternoon nap. Yeah, a person with curly hair, they can't wear bangs. You cut bangs and they'll curl up on you. They will never look like bangs. They will not go down as bangs. They curl up. Jackie Kennedy. Well, her hair was all right, but I didn't really like her hair. I don't think I'd want to wear mine like that. Oh, man. Well, if I cut it that short, Wilson, it'd be straight until it started growing out a little bit, and then it would just curl up. Or it would probably lay to my head and curl. Mamie Eisenhower was born in your hometown of Boone, Iowa, Tamara. Oh, wow. She had the bubble cut. Yeah, they had a lot of different hairstyles back in the day. You remember that time that the guys wore their hair in a style that looked like somebody put a bowl on their head and just cut around the edge of the bowl? And I think that's what a lot of people called it, a bowl cut. Because they literally put a bowl on their head and just cut the hair around the edge of the bowl. Well, I didn't know it was called a bubble cut. One of the Stooges, yeah. One of the Stooges had a bowl cut. Your Uncle BB said his mom used Dippity Doo. I remember Dippity Doo, but I never used it. You put Dippity Doo on my hair, it would curl up before it dried, and it would just be a hard curl. Yeah, I can imagine back in the cowboy day that they cut their hair any way they could get it cut shorter so they could manage it, you know. It probably really wasn't a real style back then. Your older sister used Dippity Doo. Donna said I'm telling my age. Well, I told my age in a couple of my videos, and now I refuse to tell it anymore. You have to go back and watch the older videos and find out if you don't already know. I lost a lot of my hair where I became husband's caregiver. It's never grown back 5.5 years ago. Wow. Why did you lose a lot of your hair, Karen? Oh, wow. Your mom had her hair straightened and some fell out. Well, something like that happened to my granddaughter. Poor baby. She graduated high school, graduated from cosmetology school, and for graduation, she let some of the other girls that were in her class fix her hair. They were going to bleach it out for her. And the bleach that they used, they either put too much or it's too strong, or they left it on too long, but it burnt her hair, and a lot of it fell out in clumps. And she dyed it back a darker color and tried to cut it off the best she could to make it look even. But that was so disappointing to her that she didn't even want to pursue her career in cosmetology. She graduated from her class, and she could have went into business as a beautician, but that one thing has deterred her from doing it. It's like she's afraid that she might do that to one of her customers without intending to. And she said, I couldn't handle doing that to someone. Because she saw how easy it was to make a mistake. I want to do the marriage with you, Shiv Kamar official. Well, that's flattery, Shiv. But I don't think I'm in the market for a marriage. Been thinking about you going live. Your doctor said it was from stress. Oh, wow. Well, I know a lot of times women, just like men in their older years, do lose a lot of their hair. It thins out quite a bit. But I lost mine to chemo. And it kills the hair cells, so a lot of it did not come back. You are ready. No, I'm not, Shiv. I'm not ready to get married. I'm too used to being by myself. I don't know what I'd do married again. I've been single for so long. That would be like having a date that didn't go home. I mean, I was married twice, don't get me wrong, and I didn't mind being married. I enjoyed it until it went bad. Then we ended up divorced. I appreciate the thought, Shiv. Now we got Eric in the house. Hello, Linda. Good news, baby. My dad teaching me how to kiss like a pro. Oh no. Oh my goodness. Well, what kind of plans has everybody got for this evening? Any plans at all? Yeah, I don't know where Dennis is. He's not come in to chat today. I haven't seen April in chat either. But I know, she's like 5 hours earlier than we are, so it's morning for her. Or it's lunchtime for her. Karen says, I'm 59 now. We have boys 17 and 21 years old. I haven't seen Janet either. I haven't seen Dennis. I haven't seen Jana. I haven't seen April. Haven't seen Connie. There's quite a few regulars that I haven't seen. You must not be very old, Shiv, for if you're saying I'm your first love. Giggles. Wow, Steve, your mom was 42 when you were born. Well, women are having babies later and later in life nowadays because they stay healthier longer. 26 years old. You're just a youngin' yet. You got a lot of women to love in your lifetime. Steve is the last child of 8. Wow, that's a big family. I bet meal times were fun. Well, thank you, Shiv. I take that as a compliment. Barbecue tonight. Oh, wow. You're the baby, Steve, of 8. Your mom was an only. That's probably why she didn't mind having a big family. If she was an only child, she wanted lots of kids. Seem like when you come from a big family, you end up having small families of your own. I might do my other fish video tonight. I've still got that other part of that salmon that I cut when I did my seafood chowder. I've still got that other piece of salmon I've got to cook, and I was going to do a video on it, so I might do that. Yeah, I think they wait later in life now than they used to. They wait till they get the house, the car, all the stuff they want to have, and then they have kids. They feel like they can't start having a family until they have everything else. You and me do the marriage. I don't know about that, Shiv. Tamara said my grandma was 45 with her first and only child, my mom. Wow, she did wait late in life. But like I said, people are waiting later and later, seem like, because their health stays better, when later in life, where it didn't. Years ago, they were getting sickly already and they didn't want to have kids. And that makes me think about the biblical times, what you read in the Bible about so many of these people living to be 400 years old. I'm still wondering how they counted their calendar years. How they counted their days, their months, their calendar years. Did they count the years the same way we do? Because 400 years, that's almost like unbelievable to me. That's like science fiction to be able to live to 400 years old. They didn't have TV in those days. They didn't have all the preservatives in their food like we do today. They didn't have all the illnesses we have today. Because they claim the preservatives and stuff in our food is what's causing a lot of people's illnesses today and health problems. Oh, wow, Wilson. Well, good for you. He went to his mom and dad's grave today and put flowers out. It's a sweet thing to do. Yeah, I mean, that's just, to me, I said, I'd want to believe it, but to me, I'm thinking they counted their years differently than we did. Maybe their years were actually our months. Maybe they didn't count months. Maybe it was years. Like 12 months in a year would have been 12 years for them. I don't know. I've often wondered that. And I've never heard anybody say how their calendars were, how they actually counted their years back then. Yeah, Donna, actually, I guess it was God's timing. I don't know. Steve said, I'm gonna live to be 969 years old. Well, I'm going to be the first person of our age to live to be 150. Because I tell everybody I'm never going to die. I'm going to be around so I can aggravate people. Maybe I'm one of those that is going to live 400 years. Yeah, I'm going to live to be 400 years old. I'm not going to need a walking cane. I'm not going to need a walker. I'm not going to need a wheelchair. I'm going to get around and do like I do now. I'm going to climb my ladders. I'm going to work in my garden. I'm going to mow my yard. I think that's kind of wishful thinking, don't you? You only have 900 years to live. That's funny, Steve. No ladders. I just bought a new ladder. I had to get a new one. for the higher places I need to get to. Right. The prenuptials are important. The last guy that proposed marriage to me was so many years ago, it's not funny. And I did make him sign a prenup. Guess what? The marriage never happened. And I'm glad it didn't. That would have been the worst mistake I'd ever made in my life. That would have been a big mistake. Well, whatever property I own, it's in a will to go to my kids. And when you get married, everything you own prior to that marriage is not community property. It's what you acquire after you get married that's community property. So even if I got married, I don't think my new husband could claim any of it, which I haven't got any plans on getting married. And what I've got is not that much anyway. 50-year-old mobile home and some property that stays too wet that I can't afford to fill in with dirt to build anything on. And probably never will be able to afford to do it. All I'm doing now is paying taxes on it every year. Yeah, I shuddered when I recall creeps. Me too, Donna. I've come across a few of those in my lifetime after I was divorced the last time. I don't even want to date anymore. Well, we've been on here for over 2 hours. I mean, I hate to end this, but the more I cough, the more I talk, the more I'm going to cough. We don't own our property. We rent it from the government. Well, when my last husband, when we were still married, we bought property just outside of the city limits in my hometown back in North Carolina. And since he was up from around the Charlotte area, that's about 300, 400 miles drive away, he had no need in the property in my hometown. And we were going to build a house on it when he retired, or that's what he told me. So I got the property in a divorce settlement. He got a little bit more money. I got the property. And all I've ever been able to do is pay taxes on it every year ever since. I mean, I've never been able to get up enough money to do anything to it. In fact, when I tried a few years ago, my cousin's husband said they almost lost the bulldozer. It got stuck and they almost didn't get it out. Everything they did to get it out made it go deeper. Because it was so wet, and it stays wet all the time. It would take tons and tons of dirt to put in enough to build a house on it. And you know, they don't deliver loads of dirt for free. And then after you do all that, you got the expense of building the house, and I just don't have the money. I've thought about selling it. I've gotten offers, but most of the time the offers I get are so low that I wouldn't sell it for what they offered. And other offers that are what I would take for the property, it's from realtors that really aren't offering to buy it right then. They want me to sign a sales agreement for 90 days. And it gives them 90 days to do whatever they want to with the property. And basically what they would do is put it listed on some realtor website for sale to see if they could get X amount of dollars out of it. And if they could, at the end of that 90 days or before, it would be a sale and I would get my money. If not, it would be taken off the market at the end of the 90 days. It would revert back to the original status, and it would not be listed anymore. And then they would back out of the deal. And so far, I've not signed a purchase agreement. Now, the last one that offered, if they'd offer me that much with an actual sale, a paper that sends me it to be notarized, for me to sign that I've sold the property to them for X amount of dollars. I sign the agreement, get it to them, they give me the money. I might do that, but I'm not going to sign an agreement to tie my property up for 90 days for them to see if they can sell it. Because what if somebody offers me cash money in that 90 days and it's tied up and I can't sell it? So, and I'm really not pushing to sell it. These are offers that have been sent to me, mailed to me. They call me all the time offering to buy the property. They send me text messages all the time. But they always end up wanting me to sign like a 90-day sales agreement. Not an actual paper that's notarized that says they bought the property. Well, the mobile home I live on here, I own. But this place is 50 years old. It's a 1969 mobile home. Back in my hometown, at the property that I'm talking about, there's nothing on it but trees and water. Trees and water and snakes. It's full of copperheads because it's got a canal on the back side of it. And the ground stays so wet that it's heavily populated with water moccasins and copperheads and all the poisonous snakes you don't want in your yard. But even to put a mobile home on that property back there, it's got to have dirt fill. It's got to have lots of dirt to fill in to get it high enough to where you're not standing in water. I spent $500 just putting a pipe in the ditch to put a driveway in. I spent another around $1,000 for the bulldozer to go in there to push off part of it to see if we could, build on it. And that was where he almost lost the dozer, and he said it's too wet. It's going to have to take a lot of dirt fill to fill it in. And I didn't have the money to do all that. And still don't. So I don't know. It may not ever happen. My kids may inherit the property with everything I've got if I still own anything by the time I die. Because it's like I told my kids, I said, who knows? I may sell everything I've got before I die. I may have to go live with one of them or end up in a nursing home or something, which God forbid. But, I may have to sell everything I own before I ever die. So then I may not ever do anything with it, and they won't either. I doubt they would, but, We'll see what happens. You never know what happens in this world. I take one day at a time, because you never know what's going to be put in front of you from one day to the next. You really don't. Yeah, Karen says she gets those calls all the time. I get calls all the time wanting them to buy this house I'm living in. And I said, well, I live here. Where am I going to go? If I sold it to them, I'd have to go get a motel room and live in a motel. And I said, my house is not for sale. I've never listed it for sale. I don't know. The lady that lives across the street from where my property is, she inherited her mom's house that she lives in there. And she said they've always got snakes in the driveway. They get in the ditch because it stays full of water. She said there's always copperheads or water moccasins swimming around in the ditch, come up in the yard. And it's mostly because it stays so wet, and there is a canal behind my property. I mean, it's right at the edge of my property. It's almost like I got lakefront property on its lake back property. It's at my back door, not my front. I got the highway at the front. It's in North Carolina, Wilson, in my hometown, Atkinson, North Carolina, right on the East Coast. Cottonseed meal. I don't think so. I don't want no cottonmouth snake. I don't want no water moccasin. I don't want no rattlesnake. I haven't got hungry enough to eat one of them yet. I mean, I did taste rattlesnake one time and it was okay, but I'm not going to go after it. Well, hello. I can't pronounce it, Loei. I watch your videos all the time. Leave everything in wonder. I think that's who you are. How are you doing today? I'm doing great. Will it to me. And there's Naomi. Hello, Naomi. I don't want worm either. I'll leave those for the fish. I'll leave all that for the fish. How's the weather in Italy? Yeah, maybe, Uncle BB. You have a worm farm, Shelley? I thought about putting one in for my garden, but I haven't. Not yet. Yeah, in the compost. Yeah, that'd be the only place I've got a worm farm is in my compost pile. And I'm sure there's some in there. There's bound to be. Oh, yeah, I know there is. Well, I don't want to keep y'all all Sunday afternoon. We've been on for 2.5 hours already. Wonder if I can buy from you. Would you want to move to North Carolina, Wilson? You could have a snake farm. Well, I've enjoyed this. We've been on for about 2.5 hours. I don't want to keep y'all any longer. I'm sure you got things to do. They used to be pond near my house in the 60s. They had water moccasin before the built houses. Good evening. Well, there's Virgo Boy 48. Well, hello, Virgo. How are you doing today? I don't know if I've got any pictures of it. I used to have a couple of pictures, but I don't think I've got any. I had them on my phone, but I think I deleted them off. Well, I'm not 100% positive, but I think it was Luei or whatever that name was. I watch a couple in Italy leave everything in wonder. They started out a YouTube channel traveling in a van. And then they settled in one of the towns in Italy and bought like a 100-year-old house to live in. And they've restored it. They bought an olive grove where they intend to build a house on it eventually. And I think it might be them. I may be wrong. I'm not sure. But it seemed like that's the letters on their channel. And it stands for Leave Everything in Wonder or something like that. I thought about it a few times, but I think I'd get tired of having to be in a different place every week. And then if you stayed in one place, you'd have to be in like a mobile home park or something. And then you'd have to pay rent on the spot you lived in. And that would probably cost more than my check coming in. So I don't even think about it. I'm going to check on that because they put out a video every Sunday. And I found their video just before I went live, so I did not have a chance to watch it today. But I am going to watch it. No, theirs is Leaw. Leave Everything in Wonder. So it's probably somebody different that came into my live. It just has a similar letters. Their video today is we bought another slice of paradise in Sicily. Olive grove and ancient tiny stone house. So I'll watch that later when I get time. That jelly looks good. It tastes real good. I've tasted it, when I was making it because I was curious to see how it tasted. So in making it, I did sample it. It tastes real good. So I'm sorry about that, whoever those letters were for, Luei. I didn't know for sure if that was somebody maybe in Hawaii but evidently it must have been. It might be somebody in Hawaii. It's Laowai. 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 Maybe Laowai. I don't know. If they come back on, maybe if they're still in chat, maybe they'll tell us where they're at. But yeah, I was thinking of that couple from Sicily or Italy when I first saw the letters, but it's not them. They have a little girl, and now they're expecting another baby. I think that I can't remember if they said the new one was a baby or if it was going to be a boy or a girl. I don't remember. Hello, Virgo boy. How are you doing? Well, they haven't come back in, so I don't know if they just came in to say hi and left, or if they're still listening or what. Well, I think we're supposed to get some rain tonight, they said. It's 74 degrees right now, 79 right now. Let's see what the full forecast is. Can bring that up right quick and see. It's only going to be 67 degrees for the low tonight. 43% chance of rain tonight. It shows that we'll probably get rain tomorrow night, or tomorrow, Monday. Now they say it's only going to get down to 37 Wednesday, so that'll be the coldest night that we've had. And no more rain for another week. So if we get rain tomorrow or tonight, good, we need it. Okay, the probability for Monday or tonight, 66% and 67% tonight between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. Tomorrow, 1 a.m., 58% chance of rain. And then about 7 a.m. through 9 a.m., it's about 88% chance of rain. So hopefully we'll get some good rain in the morning and tonight. And that's going to do my garden a lot of good. I'll tell you, my garden will be happy. Because it's due to be watered. Either with compost tea or something right now, now. So if we get rain tonight and tomorrow, I won't have to put anything out tomorrow. It'll be watered for me. Hi, Debbie. She just got on. Yeah, I haven't heard about the storms. I just know we've got a chance of rain tonight and in the morning. So it may be storms. I don't know. I don't know, Wilson. I don't want to discuss selling my property on the internet or on my live. I'm not going to start posting prices on my live. Yeah, it's dry here too. Yeah, we're due for a rain. It's been a while since we got any rain. It's been cloudy looking all day. I mean, it looked like it was going to rain any minute, but it's not. We haven't got a drop of rain today. But evidently that's why it was so cloudy looking, is we expect rain tonight and in the morning. It's headed this way. No, I'm not. I'm on city water. They tell us we're not allowed to put our own well down here because we don't own the water or mineral rights. The company that put in the subdivision own all the rights to the water and minerals. But you know what? Some friends of mine, they said the heck with that. They bought the property, they own their property, and they're putting a well down. And they put a well down. They never did have city water the whole time they lived out here. So they never paid a water bill. They pumped their own water from their own well. And I think people should be entitled to do that. If you own your property, you should own the right to put a well down. Yep, that's what I said. Good for them. More power to them. But it's pretty expensive to put a well down. I probably could not even afford to put a well down. And that's something I would have to do to the property in North Carolina, because there's no city water out where my property is. You'd have to put your own well down. They just recently, in the last few years, got city water put in town, but they don't have it outside of town yet. Yeah, that Lionel, they must be from Hawaii to have a name like that put on their profile. Donna said, "Good night, Linda. All chips and dip time." Yeah, it's supper time for me too, and I know it's got to be your supper time. I appreciate all of you coming into my live today. I've enjoyed it. Please keep Patty C in prayer, and all the other people that are out there that need prayer. I know we all need prayer, but some of us need it more than others. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you got to replace your pumps because they'll wear out. They're like anything else mechanical. The pump will wear out and you have to replace your pump. But my mom pumped her own water. My brothers, mostly for where they live around my hometown, they pump their own water. I don't have any of them that live directly in town right now except my niece. And I think she's on the city water. Is there a way we can talk with you in live time? Just on my lives, Karen. That's all I know, unless you send me a message. Sometimes there's ways to send private messages. I've never done it, but yeah, my live is the way I communicate with everybody in live time. Because I don't give out my phone numbers, and I'm not accepting any more friends on Facebook because I've been getting too many on there. Been getting too many trolls coming in even Facebook, so I don't even accept friends on Facebook anymore unless I know for sure who they are and what their intentions are. I try to keep my Facebook page short and simple because that's the way that I communicate with my family in North Carolina, Arizona, New York, everywhere else. It's my next best way of communicating with my family. So I've tried to keep it small. And I hear that, Debbie. Like I said, I keep mine small. I don't accept friends just all the time. I do accept my families as friends so we can communicate. We share pictures, family photos, stuff like that. But anyway, I got to jump off of here. Got things to do. And it's got dark outside, so I'm not going to be able to get out and cover that raised bed tonight. May have to wait till tomorrow afternoon if it's not raining. And if it's raining, to be sure, Lucky's not going to try to get up there and lay down in it anyway if it's raining on it. So hopefully it'll be safe until I can get out there when it's not raining. Yeah, you got to be careful, Karen. Because there's trolls everywhere. They're on Facebook. They're on TikTok. They're on all of the media where you communicate with people. They're everywhere. There's always somebody out there trying to steal all your information to get into your accounts, all kind of stuff. So I try to keep Facebook short and simple and sweet. No trolls, no problems. Just a communication with family and a few friends. So y'all have a good night. I appreciate all of you coming into the live. I've enjoyed it so much. I've had a blessed time this afternoon and this evening. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your tomorrow. Enjoy the whole week. And I'll see you next time. Love y'all. Bye. Well.